ओम सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं पुराण न्याय मीमांसा धर्मशास्त्रांग मिश्रिताः वेदाः स्थानानि विद्यानां धर्मस्य च चतुर्दश आयुर्वेदो धनुर्वेदो गान्धर्वश्चैव ते त्रयः अर्थशास्त्रं चतुर्थन्तु विद्याः अष्टादशैव ताः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Namaste. I welcome everyone who is watching this video. This video is the first in a new series, a second series brought to you by Indica Bhasha with the very well known and loved Mahamahopadhyaya Professor Korada Subrahmanyam Garu. This second series will focus on Pāṇini's Aṣṭādhyāyī as seen through Patanjali's Mahābhāṣya. Let me repeat that. This new series is on Pāṇini's Aṣṭādhyāyī as seen through Patanjali's Mahābhāṣya. Mahābhāṣyam. With these few words, I will invite Mahamahopadhyaya to share his views on this topic. Welcome, Professor. Namaste.
Aishman. Om Namah Pāṇiniකාtyaaya Patanjali Shadda Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vanshirshibhyo Paramarshibhyo Mahadhyo Manibhyo Gurubhyaha. Today we are going to discuss a great work that is useful for all kinds of Vidyasthanams. It is called Aṣṭādhyāyī by Pāṇini Maharshi. And this Aṣṭādhyāyī deals with one of the Vedangas called Vyakaranam. If you take Veda Purusha as personified, then Vyakaranam is considered as the mouth of that Veda Purusha. Mukham Vyakaranam Smritam. There are 6 Vedangas: Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Chandas, Niruktam, Jyotisham, Kalpaha. Among them, Vyakaranam is considered to be important because, as it is said in Dhanyaloka and other works, Vyakaranam Moolatvat Sarva Vidyanam. If you want to learn any Vidya, Vyakaranam is the base. Without the knowledge of Vyakaranam, it is almost impossible to understand any Vidya. But second thing is, this term Vyakaranam, many people may not be knowing, is employed in another sense also in Sushruta Samhita 3rd Adhyaya. There the usages are like Sharira Vyakaranam, Garbha Vyakaranam and so on. There Vyakaranam means Vistaraha. It is nothing but, in English nowadays people call CT scan and scanning. Vyakaranam means scanning, to see a particular limb of the body, okay, in a magnified position, okay, in a magnified form. So there also the term Vyakaranam is also used. But here we are concerned with the Shabda Sadhutva, and I shall explain what it is. So actually, Vyakaranam means an instrument that separates sadhu shabdas from asadhu shabdas, or shabdas from asadhu shabdas. So, Vyakriyante apashabdebhyaha sadhu shabdaha prathak kriyante anena iti Vyak. That is the derivation of the term Vyakaranam. Now, what is this separation of shabdas from apashabdas? See, generally, in Indian culture, we have 4 goals of human life: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So, at moksha is the final goal. And dharma is directly connected with all the three. Artha associated with dharma, kama associated with dharma, and moksha is available only through dharma. There are a number of activities or procedures to attain dharma, but here in Indian culture, usage of language with the prior knowledge of Vyakarna is also considered to be an instrument useful in achieving dharma. So, in other languages, language is generally used for transformation of meaning. Whereas here in Pāṇiniya, language is employed for two purposes. One is transformation of meaning, that is common to all languages. The second one is attaining dharma. So, सिद्धे शब्दार्थ संबंधे लोकतः अर्थ प्रयुक्ते शब्द प्रयोगे शास्त्रेण धर्म नियमः क्रियते यथा लौकिक वैदिकेषु. This is the first vartikam of Katyayana. This is there in Mahābhāṣyam of Patanjali. So, Sanskritam, the shabdas of Devabhasha or Daivi Vaka or Sanskritam can be put under two headings. One is Vaidika Shabdaha, the other is Laukika Shabdaha. As it is clearly stated in Aṣṭādhyāyī of first pada of Varomimamsa, Yeshu Yeshu Artheshu Loke Shabdaha Prayujyante, Teshveva Vedevi Shabdaha Prayujyante. So, as far as the meaning of these Shabdas is concerned, there is no any difference. But in the form of certain Shabdas, there is a difference, not all, only some. For example, Bhadran Kanne Vishrunayama Devaha Kannebhihi, it is employed. In Loka, it will be Karnaihi, Kannena Karnabhyam Karnaihi. So, this kind of difference will be there in the case of some Shabdas, not all. Second thing is, some people think that there is Swara, Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita, and so on in Veda, whereas in Loka it is not there. This is not correct. Actually, Swara is there in Sanskritam per se. In the language itself, there is Swara. In Veda, it is respected, whereas in Loka, people do not employ that Swaras, Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita, etc. And therefore, Pāṇini also did not make any Adhikara Sutra which tells us that Swara is only in Veda. Chandasi, that kind of Adhikara Sutra is not done by Pāṇini in his Aṣṭādhyāyī before starting on this Swara Prakriya. This is clearly stated in Shabda Kaustubha of Bhattoja Dikshita. And that is one aspect. We will go deep into these things, details. And just like any other Vedanga or Darshana for that matter, the origin of Vyakaranam also is there in Vedas. In Gogatha Brahmanam, the terminology is available and the Prakriya is also available. Omkaram Pruchhamaha ko dhatuhu kim pratipadikam kaf pratyayah kasvaraha etc. So even in Maitrayaniya Samhita and other Aitareya Brahmanam etc. also we come across the usages of the terminological words Paribhashika Shabdaha like Prakritihi, Pratyayah, Swaraha and so on. That is related to Vyakaranam. Therefore, the origin of Vyakaranam lies in Vedas. That is another aspect. Now, outside people may say, while translating, they say Vyakaranam is grammar. Grammar means, for these languages like English, you have parts of speech, figures of speech, etc. But Vyakaranam includes those aspects which are there in the popular grammar, but not vice versa. Grammar does not cover all these things. Therefore, Vyakaranam is not grammar, but since the people from other cultures should understand as to what is the concept of Vyakaranam, we have to offer something or the other, just like Vivaha means marriage. Actually, both are not, we will not go hand in glove. I mean, as far as the meaning is concerned, there is gulf of difference. So here also, since in the other culture, there is something called grammar that is taken as equivalent to Vyakaranam for the sake of understanding. There is some semblance, not exactly in total. That is another aspect. Now, what is the situation? Why you have taken up Pāṇini's Aṣṭādhyāyī? Were there no grammars before Pāṇini and after Pāṇini? Question. Earlier to Pāṇini, there were and they are available also grammars exclusively for Vedic Shabdas called Pratishakshyas. That means Taittiriya Shakha, Rakshakha. Like that, there are different Pratishakshyas which deals with the Vyakaranam of Vedic Shabdas. And side by side, Aindran, Chandran, Kashakrutsam, like that, some grammars were there that were exclusively useful in analyzing the Laukika Shabdas. So, Vedika Vyakaranam, Laukika Vyakaranam separately were available. Vedika Vyakaranam used to be called Pratishakya. Even today they are available. Pratishakya, Taittiriya Pratishakya, and so on. Whereas the Vyakaranas for Laukika Shabdas separately were there. Pāṇini once entered the scene, most probably before Krishna, 500, 5th century or so. And he made a very great contribution to Sanskritam, that is the language, Deva Bhasha. That is, he took both the grammars, that is Pratishaksha and Vyakaranas, and put both of them in a nutshell. Okay, that means in a single book, the grammars of both Vedika and Laukika Shabdas are available. That is called Aṣṭādhyāyī. He made Bahulam Chandasi like that. 13 times he repeats this sutram. And Vyachayo Bahulam, another sutram is there. There will be Varna Vyachaya, Linga Vyachaya, Vachana Vyachaya, and so on. Vyachaya means difference. Okay, I have already seen Karnevi for Karnaihi. And Devasaha, Prajasaha, etc. There are many examples. That is the situation prior to Pāṇini. While apart from this, Pāṇini's Aṣṭādhyāyī is useful. Okay, it is considered as a darshanam also. A darshanam would help us. Darshayate tattvam iti darshanam. So, that is useful in attaining moksha. Generally, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya, we are called darshanas, rather Astika darshanas. But Vyakaranam is considered only as a Vedanga and not darshanam. We are going to discuss thoroughly Mahābhāṣya, the great work by Patanjali. Okay, and advocates that Vyakaranam can be a darshanam, that is Iyam Samokshamananam Ajimha Rajapatthatihi. This is clearly stated in Brahmakanda of Vakyapadiyam. Vakyapadiyam is authored by Bhartruhari, having 3 kandas. We may just touch during the course of these lectures. And there he clearly says, this Vyakarana Smriti is a direct thoroughfare, Rajapadhati, Rajamarga, to moksha. That means people, those who study Vyakaranam and get the Vagbrahma, Ve Brahmani Vedidavye, Shabda Brahma Paranjayat, Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha Param Brahmadhigachyati. When we discuss Sphatavada, I shall explain these ideas. There is Shabda Brahma, there is Parabrahma. The one who has accomplished, who realized the Shabda Brahman will be eligible to attain Parabrahma, that is moksha. Attain Parabrahma. Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati Upanishad says. So this is the general situation. Why should Pāṇini go for, why should we go for Vyakaranam? The reason is that there are Shabdas and Apashabdas in the Loka that are being employed to denote the same meaning. But that means the purpose will be served whether we employ Gauhu, a Sadhu Shabda. Sadhu Shabda or Shabda. Sadhu Shabda or Shabda means a Shabda that is analyzed by Vyakaranam and acceptable to Vyakaranam. So, this concept is unique to Sanskritam. In other languages, in different ways you may speak, in different ways one may pronounce. Pronunciation is also given a lot of importance in Sanskritam. If you mispronounce in terms of varna or swara, then the meaning will undergo change and it will not render the expected meaning. That I will discuss with examples in the coming lectures. So here, Pāṇini authored actually 5 works he authored: Aṣṭādhyāyī, Dhātu Patha, Gana Patha, Shiksha, and Nama Linganushasana. Actually, it is Linganushasana. So 5 works he authored. The amazing aspect of Pāṇini's Aṣṭādhyāyī is that although Pāṇini meant his sutras, etc., to be useful for analyzing and perfecting the Sanskrit Bhasha, somehow it became useful to other languages also. So whatever rules and amendments, etc., are made in Pāṇiniya Vyakaranam, they are universal. That means they are useful to other languages across the globe. Rishinam Padarajyanam Vachamarthonudhavati Laukikanam Hisadhunam Artham Vaganuvartate. Rishinam Padarajyanam Vachamarthonudhavati. This is from Uttararamacharitam, first act by Bhavahuti. So, Laukika people like us just think about a particular thing and then we employ the Shabdas that are relevant to that Artha. Whereas Rishis, some Shabda comes out of, emerges from their mouth and Artha will come behind running. So, they do not think too much about it. Automatically it comes because they are Rishaya, Risha Aparoksha Darshane. Directly they can see these things because they are yogis. So through Yoga Shakti they were doing these works, whether it is medicine or surgery, that is Charaka Social Samhita, or Vyakaranam. And in this context, since the name Mahābhāṣyam has come, we have to just introduce what is Mahābhāṣyam, how is it useful to analyze the language, and so on. There are 3 kinds of doshas or defects in the world. Defects related to mind, manasaka doshaha, related to body, shariraka doshaha, and defects related to speech, vak dosha. So manasaka doshaha, shariraka doshaha, vak dosha. In order to see that people are liberated from all the 3 kinds of doshas, Patanjali, the great Rishi, yogi, authored 3 works, very popular, all of them. First one is Yoganushāsanam. Yoga Shasanam was by Hiranyagarbha, whereas the Yoganushāsanam, following Hiranyagarbha's Yoga Shasanam, Patanjali authored Yoganushāsanam, and that is to remove the Manasika doshaha of people. Yoga Chittavritti Nirodhaha, second sutram in Yoganushāsanam. So, how to control the mind, different 8 kinds of Yamaniyamāsana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhayaha, Ashto Angani. So, with the help of these Ashtangas, one can get his mind cleansed and realize the Brahman, that is, attain Kaivalyam or Moksha. That is the purpose. Second thing, Sharirika dosha. See, in the body, due to the climate, due to Kala, in winter, etc., there will be less and less digestive power. Something like that. So, due to the seasons, seasonal changes, change in the atmosphere or climate, people's health is affected. They may have some problems. So, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Vata, Pitta, Kapha, 3 doshas are there. Discussed heavily in Charaka Samhita, Sushketa Samhita, and Vagbhata's books also. They are called humors in English, whatever it is. So, if you strike a balance among these 3, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, then it is called Arogyam, health. Any other kind of, symptoms are called ill health. So, in order to see that people would lead a healthy life, which would, in the long run, contribute for the safety and peace in the society, Patanjali authored Chatasukta. Complete work may not be available, but most of the sutras are available. That is about Sharirika dosha. Then Vak dosha. See, Arya Sampradaya is there. I will discuss Aryavarta and the concept of Aryavarta and the concept of Shishtas, etc. separately. But in Arya Sampradaya, pronunciation of language is given topmost importance. If anybody speaks unclearly or speaks a language that is not as clear as Sanskritam, he is called a Mlecha. Arya into Mlecha. Arya Mlechadhikaranam is there in the first Aṣṭādhyāyī of Paramimamsa, and the Aryas and Mlechas, these details are discussed in Dharmashastras as well as Patanjali's Mahābhāṣya in 6th Adhyaya, 3rd Pada, 109 Sutra. Prashodaradini Yathopadishtam. Pāṇini himself gave this sutra. That requires a separate discussion. So, speech, if any mispronunciation or pronunciation of the language is called Mlechanam, Mlechi Aspushta Bhashane, or Mlecha Dhatu is also there. Mlechati will be there. So, Patanjali authored a vast commentary on Pāṇini's Aṣṭādhyāyī and the Vartikas of Katyayana and others. Vartikam, I shall give the definition and explain. Vartikam is nothing but just like an amendment. Most of the amendments put together by Patanjali Mahābhāṣyam are given by Katyayana. So, Pāṇini is called Sutrakara, who made the sutras. Katyayana and others are called Vartikaras. And Patanjali is called Bhashyakara. So, Bhashyam is not just like a commentary, not like a Vyakhyan. There is a difference that I shall explain. Before going to the definitions of what is Sutram, what is Vartikam, what is Bhashyam, let us address the question why Patanjali's work only is called Mahābhāṣya. There is Shankara Bhashyam on Brahma Sutras, Nyaya Bhashyam on Rakshapada's Nyaya Sutras, Prashastabhada Bhashyam on Kanada's Vaisheshika Sutras, and there is Sri Bhashyam by Ramanujacharya, Purna Prajna Bhashyam by Madhvacharya on Brahma Sutras, both. So in Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa also we have Shabara Bhashyam, like that. Yoga Bhashyam is also there on Yoga Sutras. So similarly, in every other school, that is Vidyasthanam, we have the name Bhashya. Only here in Vyakaranam only, we call Patanjali's work, which deals with the Vagdoshas, that is defects of speech, by the name Mahābhāṣya. Why? So there are one or two explanations. Mahābhāṣyam is considered to be having the seeds of all darshanas. There is Sankhyam, there is Yoga, there is Mimamsa, there is Vedanta, and the seeds of all these darshanas are available in this work. One thing. Second thing is, we can draw a waterline between Mahābhāṣyam on one side and rest of the Bhashyas on the other. What is this? In other darshanas, the order of works, that is explanatory works called Bhashyam and Vartikam, is first Sutram, then Bhashyam, then Vartikam. If you take Purva Mimamsa for example, Purva Mimamsa Sutras are authored by Jaimini Maharshi. We have Bhashyam by Shabaraswami. Earlier Bhashyas are not available. We are talking about the Bhashyas that are available today. Shabara Bhashyam is there. Then there is Vartikam, Shloka Vartikam, Tantra Vartikam, and Tuptika, of course, by Kumarila Bhatta, and so on and so forth. So the order is Sutram, Bhashyam, Vartikam. And in Nyaya Darshanam also it is the same, Vedanta also it is the same, like that it goes. There, the Bhashyam and Vartikam both are considered to be explanatory in nature, rather than anything else. Whereas in Mahābhāṣyam, Vyakaranam here is called Trimunu Vyakaranam. Whatever is said by the trinity of Rishis, Munis, that is, by Pāṇini, Katyayana, and Patanjali, shall be final. No person is allowed to interfere or say anything in this regard. So what happens is, all the three are involved in deciding as to whether a particular Shabda is Sadhu or Asadhu. Sadhu Shabda will be there, Gauho. And Patanjali gives examples like Gani, Gavi, Guni, Gota, Gopotarika, Ichevamadayaha, Bhavaha, Apashabda. So for a single Shabda, there can be many Apashabdas, or at least several Apashabdas. It may differ from person to person, house to house, village to village, and area to area, like that. Therefore, for a single Shabda, you have several or many Apashabdas. Badha is there. Some people say Badha, others say Bhada, still others say Bada. Bhedaha, Bhid Dhatu, Bhidir Vidarane, Ghai Prachaya. Bheda is analyzed by Pāṇini, and it is a perfect Shabda, Sadhu Shabda. But people will say Bhedha, Vedha, Veda, and so on. We can't give a comprehensive list of all the Apashabdas. It is impossible. So, this kind of arrangement is made, Upadesha is done, preaching by Pāṇini through his sutras. Also added some Vartikas, and those Vartikas also offer Sadhu Shabdas. Then there will be a doubt. I shall explain what a Vartikam is. Then Patanjali also, not simply he was explaining the sutras and Vartikas, just like it is the case in other Bhashyas, that is Bhashyas of other darshanas, but he himself offers this Shabda is Sadhu Shabda. This Shabda is Asadhu Shabda, like that. So Ishti means which is liked. That means liked means like by Vyakaranam. Ishti is also expressed along with the explanation by Patanjali in his Bhashyam. So in two ways, one is having the seeds of all other darshanas, and the other is the Ishti is also expressly said by Patanjali in his Bhashyam, therefore it is called Mahabhāṣyam. Other Bhashyas are not Mahabhāṣyas. So Mahabhāṣyam va pathayet, Maharajyam va palayet. Ask your children either to study Mahabhāṣyam or rule a country, great country, become emperor, like that. So that is the greatness of Mahabhāṣyam. So otherwise, if you take Pāṇini Sutras, it is very difficult to understand what the meaning was. Some people said Pāṇini was giving these sutras roughly 3,986 or so, roughly 4,000 sutras. I shall explain what a sutram is. And he was offering examples also and explaining sutras to some students. Different batches he did it. That is clear through Mahābhāṣya. For example, if he gives a sutra, here sutras in Aṣṭādhyāyī are totally different, one can say. When compared with other sutras, that is sutras in other darshanas, they are maybe depending on the subject matter that was being dealt with, they are lengthy. Whereas in Pāṇini, you find the first sutram is the Vriddhirādaic. Last sutram is A. In between, if it is required, he may offer some lengthy sutras, like Vinchan Kathajila Sedira, Vinchan Kathajila Sedira, Dhainyaya Pakhyanya Kathakori, Hana Kushashvarishya Kumudakashan, Prana Prekshashme Sakhisankashi, Balavaksha Sotanga Pragadin Varaha Kumudadibhya. This contains 17 pratyas for 17 different groups of words called ganas. So if it is required, he may offer one, but with more and more meaning, taking equal of letters, Pāṇini built Aṣṭādhyāyī. So these are called sutras, unique to Sanskritam, and later in some regional languages like Tolkapiyam Tamil, Telugu, Vyakaranam, or Andhra Shabda Chintamani, and so on. In regional languages, so there have been some, rather had been some imitations. So sutram is literally called thread. Shankaracharya says in Sutra Bhashyam, Vedanta Vakya Kusuma Grasanarthatvat Sutram. Sutram is a thread. For what? Just making a garland. Okay, then where are the flowers? Then he says Vedanta Vakyani. The Upanishad Vakyas are flowers. Where is the thread? Brahma Sutras are threads. So one can make a garland. Something like that. So here also, the sutras of Pāṇini among themselves have got a connection. In another lecture, I shall explain how many kinds of sutras are there, how they are connected at both syntactic and semantic levels, and what are the nuances there, that I will discuss separately. So sutram is outside the shastram, it means a thread. Okay. In shastram, what is sutram? Sutram means an elliptical sentence, an incomplete sentence. So asked, where are you coming from? The person said from Pataliputra. Pataliputra simply he said. Because you come from hostel, simply. So, is hostel a word or a sentence or something else? Hostel is not a sentence, nor a word. Then it is called an elliptical sentence, an incomplete sentence. I am coming from. These words are not employed. Why? Because there is shared knowledge between the speaker and the listener. So, here also, if you take a sutram, it is an elliptical sentence. That means some more words have to be supplied. It is called Chahara. And you have to make a complete, unitary, meaningful sentence. That is your job. So, Pāṇini sutras are comparatively very, very brief as she. Such sutras are there. They are pregnant with meaning, loaded with meaning, and it is the job of not Pāṇini, but the later people, later scholars like Katyayana, Patanjali, and Jayaditya, Vamana, Jayaditya, and other scholars to explain as to what Pāṇini meant by this sutra. So it is a tough task. So the commentaries are required, and a guru who can digest, who has digested this Pāṇini Vyakaranam along with Nyaya Vaisheshika and Mimamsa, which are called Padavakya Pramana Shastras. Padavakyam is Vyakaranam. Vakya Shastram is Paurvamimamsa. And the Pramana Shastram is the combination of Nyaya and Vaisheshika. A scholar should have studied to do justice to his teaching, all these three. So the commentators like Mallinatha Surya, etc., they make a pledge. Padavakya Pramana, Pramanajnaha or Padavakya Pramana Paravana Parina, etc. Before they just enter upon the task of offering some commentary. So, if he says, if he declares that he underwent training under a guru or gurus in all the three Padavakya Pramana Shastras, his words will be taken as an authority. That has been there since time immemorial in Indian culture, in Indian educational system, as an authority. That is a must. It is essential. Knowledge of all these three Shastras is essential, not desirable. Now, the Sutram is said. What is Sutram? How is there any definition? Yes. There is a definition in Vishnudharmottara Puranam. And other words, Alpaksharam asandigdham, Alpaksharam asandigdham, Saravadvishvato mukham, Astobhamanavadyancha, Sotram Sotravido Viduhu. Sotravidaha, those scholars who know what a sutra is, they said, they offered, they defined a sutram as follows. In this verse, there is no Visheshyam. The qualified term is not seen. Nelam Utpalam, for example, blue lotus. Here blue is Visheshanam, a qualifier, and lotus, Utpalam, is a qualifier, Visheshyam. But in this sutram, all Visheshanas are given, and Visheshyam is not given. The Visheshyam is to be supplied by us. That Visheshanam will be Vakyam, a sentence. Vakyam, what kind of Vakyam is a sutram is the question. The definition says, in Vishnudharmottara and some other works also, this is available. There is another definition also, but it is this, same with this, Alpaksharam. The sutram should have less and less number of letters, not words. And Asandigdham, it should not be confusing. One should not get confused. Some people may ask, it is difficult for me to understand. I am getting confused, something like this. Then there is a Vartikam, that is amendment, or rather Paribhasha. This is a Paribhasha rather than an amendment, offered by Patanjali. It has been there since time immemorial. Vyakhyanatho Vishesha Pratipattihi nahi sandehat alakshanam. In Paribhasha and Shakara, the first Vartikam is this. See, through commentary, you have to get your doubts clarified. Vyakhyanatha Vishesha Pratipattihi, Vishesha Jnanam. You will get the details, the nuances of a sutram through commentaries. Nahi sandehat alakshanam. Since you have got a doubt, you cannot say this is not a sutram like that. Lakshana means sutram here. Lakshane Vyakaranam in Paspajandika, Patanjali says. So, you just go through a Pāṇini Sutram, but you did not just go to the commentaries as to what was meant by Pāṇini, which was explained in detail by commentators. But simply, since you got a doubt, you will say simply, just, oh, this is not a sutram, this is wrong. This is not a right sutram, like that. So, asandigdham means it should not be doubtful when you have gone through the commentaries and understood. Alpakshanam, asandigdham, saravat. Sarubale sthiranchecha vishwanighan. Sara means strong. It is strong enough. What do you mean by strong enough? It can withstand any amount of criticism. It is very strong. So there will be some doshas like ativyapti, over application, avyapti, under application, asambhava, impossibility, like that. Such kind of doshas will not be there. Therefore, it is strong enough and it can analyze many examples. Saravat Vishwato Mukham. If for a single example, for a single word, if Pāṇini takes one sutram, no, that will be heavy. Gaurav will be there. So Vishwato Mukham, it should analyze, the sutram should analyze many examples, many usages of the language. Saravad Vishwato Mukham. Astobham, it is not too lengthy. Stabhavyapto. It should not be too lengthy. But earlier it is said Alpaksharam, now it says Astobham. What is the difference? Alpaksharam is the word, each word having less and less number of letters, Akshara. Whereas this Astobham is not having many words. The words of a sutram should not have many letters, that is Alpaksharam. The sutram, the sentence itself should not contain many words, that is Astobham. Anavadyancha, Anavadyam is impeccable, nirdushta, without any mistake. Generally, the Sutrakaras, whether it may be Jaimini or Badarayana for Vedanta Sutras or Pāṇini, anybody, they do not have the doshas, the defects of forgetting, getting confused, and etc. So, those doshas will not be there because they are yogis. Bhranti, confusion, illusion will not be there in their minds. They don't have illusion. They don't forget because they know all the three kalas, Bhota, Vartamana and Bhavishya. Trikala Jnana. They are called. In the course of the lectures, I shall explain this at a later point of time. So, Anupapluta Chatasam, that is what is said in Brahmakanda of Bhartrhara Vakyapadiyyam. So, their minds are not simply agitated by any cause, any reason. So, they are Sthita Prajna. So, Astobham anavadyanja. Therefore, there is no chance of committing any mistake. Forget about it. For thousands of years, people have been studying Aṣṭādhyāyī, Pāṇini with commentaries. Nobody has come out with a single mistake across this great Shastra. So, anavadyam means without any mistake or impeccable. Astoham anavadyanja sotram. Here we have to bring vakyam. That kind of vakyam is considered as a sotram by sotra vidaha. Etadrisham etadrisha visheshana visishta yuktam vakyameva sotra shabdena uchyate. Kaihi uchyate? Sotra vidhi. Sotram janati sotra vid sotra vidaha kaihi. So, this is the very definition of a sotram. This mostly fits in Vyakaranam. For there are sutras in Jyotisham, Pashyanti Saptamam Sarve, Jaimini Sotram. Each planet look at the seventh place from his place. Like that, there are sutras. So, depending on the subject matter also, the length of a sotram depends upon. So, Alpaksharam asandigdham, Alpaksharam asandigdham, Saravadvishvatomkham, Astobhamanavadyancha, Sotram Sotravido Viduhu. So this is Sotra Lakshana, and Pāṇini strictly follows this Sotra Lakshana. And then comes Vartikam. Vattau Sadhu Vartikam, Kathadu Bhyashthak Hasyakaha Ekadesha. See, in Vritti means the explanation of a Sotram. Sadhu, that is very much useful in explaining. So what, again, Vishnu Dharmatra gives us the definition of a Vartikam. Ukta anukta duruktanam chinta yatra pravartate vakyam tad Vartikam prahuhu Vartikajñā manīṣiṇah. Vartikajñāha. Vartikam janati iti Vartikajñāha. Yuvadajñāt prikarah kaha kaprachaya. Vartikajñāha, those who know a Vartikam, who have knowledge of a Vartikam. Manīṣiṇah, who are scholars. Manasaha isha manisha. So, those people defined a Vartikam like Ukta anukta duruktanam. Ukta, it is already said, but difficult to understand for many people. So, this explanation is required. Amendment. Vartikam means. Anukta, some usages are not taken up by Pāṇini. He did not say anything about them. He had his own idea, because people will anyway understand during the course of conversation, or they may get the knowledge from this vast literature, 4 Vedas, Vedanga 6, and Darshanas, Astika Darshanas 6, Nastika Darshanas 6, and then 4 Upavedas, Dhanurvedaha, Gandharva Vedaha, Ayurvedaha, and Arthashastram, all the 4 Upavedas, and the spoken language is also there. Beyond that, there is Vaidikam, there is the wealth of literature called Kavyas, Natakas, and so on and so forth. A lot of literature is there. So, people may know through these things, we might have thought of it. So, it is not said. Ukta, Anukta, Durukta. Durukta means should not be interpreted as said in a bad way. No, it is not so. It is difficult to understand. Pāṇini had already had in his mind all this, but it is difficult to fathom his mind, the very Gambhiryam. Okay, that is difficult to study. So, for that also, a Vartikam or amendment is required. So, Ukta, Anukta, Duruktanam, Chinta. Chinta means discussion. Yatra pravartate, in which Vartikam it is done. Vakyam, that kind of sentence, such a sentence, Vartikam prahuhu Vartikajñā manīṣiṇah. These people who know Vartika and scholars, they said, This is called a Vartikam. So, Semantah Keshaveshe. Keshavesha means the parting of on the head, parting of the hair. That is called Semantaha. Sima Antaha. It becomes by Akasavane Dirgha Semantaha. But in the sense of Keshavesha, it is called Semantaha. Semantovarnayanam we have. Among the Shodasha Samskaras, we have Semanta. People think it is Srimanta, they pronounce like that. It is wrong. It should be Semantaha. Semantaha means with a thorn of a forest pig, some name is there. Okay. The papidi, papidi in Telugu, the parting on the head of the girl who is a pregnant at 4th month or 6th month, different schools are there, whatever it is, that is done with them. So it is called Semanta or Semantonayanam. Okay. So Semantah Keshaveshe is a Vartikam. Semanta Shabda is not touched by Pāṇini. So here it is Anu. Just an example like that. So now this is Vartikam. Uktanukta Duruktanam Chintayatra Pravartate Vakyantad Vartikam Prahuhu Vartikam Nishanaha. This is Vartika, about Vartikam. Katyayana offered many Vartikas, like Bharadvaja, etc. also offered some Vartikas. Patanjali collected all the relevant and useful Vartikas and utilized them along with the sutras in explaining the different forms of different Shabdas. That was the purpose of Vartikas. Third one is Bhashyam. What is Bhashyam? Bhashyam is Sotram. Whatever is said in Sutras and Vartikas, a Bhashyakara takes up and along with his own words that are again explained, he offers an explanation. Bhashyakara explains an explanation. So, here what happens? Sotrastham padamadaya Vakyai sotra anusaridhi Swapadani chavanyante Bhashyam Bhashyavido Vituhu. And this is also from Vishnu Dharmotara and other works. Sotrastham padam adaya, the Bhashyakara, the author of a Bhashyam, picks up one word from the Sotram. Vakyahi Sotranusarihi. Here, Vakya means Vartikam. Taking also the Vartikas that are, useful in explaining the Sotram. Sotra Anusarihi, which follow the Sotram, which follow the meaning of the Sotram. Okay, such kind of Vartikas are also taken. Swapadani Chavanyante. Not only Bhashyakara explains the words of the Sotra and the Vartika, but his own words also he explains. Swapadani Chavanyante Bhashyam Bhashyavido Viduhu. Such a kind of commentary is called Bhashyam. Just let us take an example. In Mahābhāṣyam, the first chapter, introductory chapter, is called Paspashantikam, Spasha Badhana Spashana Yoho. Spashate, it is in a Bhvadi Dhatu. And Yanglagantat, Ach Ajantat, Ajarjata Shtrapta Paspasha. So, Abhyas Dirgha is not there. Due to Agama Shastrasya Anityatvat, something is in a Paspasha. That means the chapter, which keeps the entire Vyakaranam binding and also which throws light on the entire Shastra. So that kind of introductory part is called Paspasha. Andikam is whatever was taught by Patanjali in a day. Anha, Ahan Shabda, generally daytime. Upon that kala time, Andhika it becomes. So Paspashandhikam is nothing but the introductory part of Mahabhāṣyam, and it starts like this. This is an example of how a Bhāṣyam runs. Atha Shabdanushāsanam Tesham Shabdanam Lokikanam Vaidikanam Cha. This is the very beginning. Atha Omkarasya Shabdasya Dvavetau Brahmanah Para Kantham Hitva Viniryato Tasman Mangalika Vubhu Mangalam Prayojanasya Prayojanam with a So is Mangalika Shabda Om and Atha. Atha Athato Dharma Jignasa, Athato Brahma Jignasa, like that Atha or Omkara. Either this or that word is employed at the beginning because they emerged from the mouth of Brahma, therefore considered to be auspicious, Mangalika. So he starts his Mahabhāṣyam with this term, Atha. Atha Shabdanushāsanam, he said. Shabdanam Anushāsanam. Shabda we are going to discuss thoroughly. Shabdaha Anishyante Sadhu Shabdebhyaha Vivichya Prathaktininte Iti Shabdanushāsanam. Shabdanushāsanam is nothing but just the same as Vyakarana. Then what he says, Kesham Shabdanam. You said Shabdas. We are going to analyze Shabdas. Which Shabdas? The crows are making Shabda, Kakavashitam. And Veena is also making some Shabda. Similarly, people are using Shabdas. Which Shabdas you are going to analyze? Anushāsanam. So, that means his own word, that is Shabdanushāsanam, he has taken up Patanjali and trying to explain his own word. Sapadani cha vanniyante. This is the example. Then the answer will be, no, we are not going to take up Kakavashatam or Vena Shabda and that. We are going to take up Laukikanam, Vaidikanam cha. We are going to take up Laukika Shabdas as well as Vaidika Shabdas, and both of them will be changed. So like this, Bhāṣyam is the one which takes up the words of a sutra as well as the Vartikas that follow them, and his own words also he takes up and explains. This kind of arrangement, explanation in three types. Wherever you find that particular work is called Bhāṣyam, and here it is Mahabhāṣyam. We have already discussed why Patanjali's Bhāṣyam only is called Mahabhāṣyam and not Shankara Bhāṣyam, Shabara Bhāṣyam, Shri Bhāṣyam, etc. So, in the beginning, Patanjali is going to give the introductory part, which are not available with Pāṇini. Pāṇini directly goes into Shastram. After Maheshwara Sutras, Ivan, Rilak, etc., we are going to discuss in the next lecture. He directly goes to the Shastram, Buddhi Radhaich, like that, and ends up by that is the last sutra. So these are the explanations, these are the actual definitions of Sutram, Vartikam, and Bhāṣyam. And the order here in Vyakaranam is Sutram, Vartikam, and Bhāṣyam. Unlike other darshanas where you will find Sutram, Bhāṣyam, and then Vartikam. So this is just a parichaya, an introduction to Vyakaranam. There are many details in the coming lectures. I will be just throwing light on a number of issues which are very useful. So this is this lecture I want to complete with this. Om Namah Pāṇini Patañjali Shabda Vidya Sampradaya Kritabhyo Vanshadibhyo Paramanishibhyo Madhyo Munibhyo Gurubhyo. I am very much thankful to Indica Academy, Harikiran Garu, the founder, and by Shishyakalpa with Naga Kalyana Sundaram for arranging these lectures. And Dhanyosmi, thank you.
Very grateful to you, Mahamahopadhyaya, Professor Korada Subrahmanyam Garu, for sharing these rare synthesis. These insights are not easy to generate by reading just one text. It requires a synthesis across texts, across genres of texts, in order to be able to share what you have shared. Very grateful to you for this talk, and I look forward to hosting the remaining talks of this very unique series brought to you by Indica Bhasha, a series on Pāṇini's Aṣṭādhyāyī, Maharshi Pāṇini's Aṣṭādhyāyī, as seen by and from Maharṣi Patañjali's Mahābhāṣya. Thank you so much. Namaste, everybody.
Ayushman. Shubham Bhaya.